Freedom was born for the Israelite peoples about 3,200 years ago, when Moses freed them from Egyptian bondage. Later in the history of the Hebrews, Gideon and Samson were to prove that freedom must be won in every generation. Gideon and Samson were leaders of their people, whom the Bible called judges. When the Hebrews came to dwell in the promised land, they forgot the God of Israel who had redeemed them and began to worship the pagan gods of their neighbors. The anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he sold them into the power of their enemies round about. Then the people cried out to the Lord their God, and he listened and looked upon them with compassion. Long before the days of Samson, great troubles had come upon Israel. Midianite bands of raiders descended upon them and carried off their crops and their animals. One peasant was able to outwit the Midian bandits. The peasant's name was Gideon.
You're the only one who saved his crop. It takes a clever man to do that, Gideon. All the others were taken by surprise in the fields. But not you.
That's too bad for them. You all know that the same thing happens every year. No sooner is the harvest ready than those greedy Midianites descend. Like locusts. They don't leave us a sheep, an ass, a grain of wheat. Nothing. Why can't the others think of it in time? I cut my grain when it's still a bit green and bring it up here.
Maybe it's the fault of the people down there, around the altar of Baal.
Even if they believed in Jehovah, they wouldn't be spared. They're not very bright, that's all.
They've become idol worshippers. They've done evil in the eyes of Jehovah. And Jehovah has abandoned them.
I knew it. I knew it the moment I set eyes on you. Every time we're in trouble, someone arrives with a sermon all ready for us. Prophets and wise men. That's all Jehovah sends us. And all they ever do is repeat, you've become idol worshippers. You've done evil in the eyes of Jehovah. Jehovah has abandoned you.
Jehovah's also sent you his judges.
Sure, he has. But for some time now, we've had to make do with prophets. Unless you are the new judge who's come to save Israel from the Midianites.
No, Gideon. I'm not. But I know whom the Lord has chosen this time.
You do you? And who could he be?
It's you, Gideon.
Look here, friend. That's not funny at all.
It wasn't meant to be funny.
Who are you anyway? You spring up out of nowhere. You know all about me, and I don't know anything about you. I'm Gideon, all right. But as far as I'm concerned, you're nobody.
The Lord knows you are a brave man. And even if you don't seem to be aware of it, you will free your brothers from the yoke of Midian.
Come now. You speak as if the Lord had whispered all that stuff in your ear.
He has, Gideon.
Oh, stop it! My family is the poorest in the tribe of Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house. How can you think
The
that...
Lord is with you. What are you afraid of? The first thing you must do is this. Take a young bull and pull down the altar of Baal. Cut down its sacred pole. Then build there an altar to the Lord your God and sacrifice the bull to him.
No, you can't. You can't order me to do that. If I destroy the altar of Baal, they will tear me to pieces.
I'm not the one who's asking you, Gideon. It is the Lord who orders you. Your own conscience wants it.
Gideon wanted a proof that it was truly the Lord who was commanding him to fight the enemy. He placed a fleece outside his house and asked that dew appear upon the fleece alone and not upon the ground.
That's what you wanted, isn't it?
Did you sleep out here?
I had to. No one asked me in.
I know, but...
Was it full? Yes.
And what became of the water?
I drank it. I don't know why, but last night I felt very thirsty. Well. Come now, tell me. What must I do to put your mind at rest?
You mustn't think I'm any different from the other peasants. I have all their faults. And maybe a few more besides. Are you hungry? It'll break your teeth. Distrustful. That's what all peasants are. You can't really blame them. What I mean to say is, I want another proof. But not like the first one. This time the goatskin must be dry, while all the ground around it must be covered with dew.
Very well.
Very well. Is that all you can say? Very well. And this time, we'll both go in my stable and wait there together.
Very well. Come on.
try. But look here. I don't know how to lead people. I can tell them how to hide their wheat or how to... Here. This is my son. You see? He has a knife in his hand. Ask him what he's got to do this morning. All right, then I'll tell you myself. I don't even have the courage to kill a rabbit. When it has to be done, he's the one who does it. Otherwise, everyone here knows it. Who'd follow me into battle against the Midianites?
Maybe you're right. Still, you might at least give it a try.
The shadow is already up to the stone. And I still can't see anybody.
It hasn't reached the center yet.
It's almost there.
They're coming. In the middle, Zebulun. On the right, the men of Naphtali. On the left, the tribe of Manasseh.
Welcome. Welcome, my friend. Good. Fine. How many soldiers do you think there are? How many? How many, more or less?
Perhaps 2,000.
Nearly 5,000. I told you to stay home.
But I finished all there was to do. The grain's all threshed and the hay...
On the farm there's always something to do. Understand?
Yes.
Do you know what I have in mind? We'll attack the Midianites in a new way. First, the animals. Goats, asses, the few horses we have. And then, we'll send forward the old men. And the young will follow.
Don't you think that would be too many?
What?
All those men.
But
what you say about yourself is right. Even a blind man can see you're the last man on earth to wage a war. And maybe that's why Jehovah has chosen you.
Is that your opinion, or are you saying it because...
It's my opinion. It seems to me the important thing isn't just to win, but to win with a handful of men. And they must be led by someone like you, like me. That's the only way the people of Israel will realize they have been saved. And saved by Jehovah.
I don't know what to say. I'm willing to do anything. Cut off my hair, grow a long beard. Bring me some stone. If you want, I'll start eating the stone. Brothers, it seems that there are too many of us. And I'm afraid it'll be like when people of goodwill have to work in the fields with others who are lazy or tired. Then the work doesn't go well at all. The more people there are, the less work gets done. War is also a kind of work, the most terrible kind of work, the most unrewarding. I know I'm asking a great sacrifice of you, but I'll say it just the same. Whoever is afraid can go home.
What? You let anybody who's afraid vanish into thin air?
Anyone, Fora, except you. Wait! Wait a minute, but where are you going?
What do you mean, where?
Home. Home. Big and strong as you are, you're running away because you're afraid.
But didn't you say we could go home if we wanted?
I did. But I thought only old men and boys would go.
So much the worse for you.
Go. Go, you cowards! This keeps up, there'll be only 2,000 or 3,000 left.
If you ask me, that's still too many. However,
I wonder why we don't charge the Midianites. Just the two of us. Maybe you're right. We're still too many. better to outwit the Midianites. I have a very clever plan.
I see you're beginning to talk sense.
There's still one problem I can't solve. How can I send home all these men we don't need? There must be some way.
It shouldn't be too difficult. You could do it this way. At the next spring, some men will drink water calmly with their hands. Those you'll keep with you. And you'll send home those who throw themselves down and lap up the water with their tongues.
Palm tree. Yes, Gideon.
Join the others under that palm tree afterwards.
Yes, yes.
Go under the palm tree when you've finished drinking. Next group. All do it.
How many are there?
Not many.
How many?
About 300.
Only 300? Huh. Only 300. I haven't the courage to tell the others we don't need them. You speak to them. Tell them that lions and wild beasts are caught only by cunning, with traps. You think it's a good idea or not?
Excellent.
Have you taken your picture?
I won't need it. I'll stand aside and watch.
What? You'll stand aside?
I didn't drink a drop with my hands, did I?
You've had your fun, friend, but don't overdo it. You're coming with us, or else I'm going home like the others. What's become of him?
Who?
The fellow with the little stick. That friend of mine. Wasn't he here? Near you?
He's gone. Come and see.
Footers and Jeter's men are already moving forward.
And he divided the 300 men into 3 companies. And he put into the hands of all of them horns and empty pitchers. And he said unto them, Look on me, and do likewise. And behold, when I come to the outermost part of the camp, it shall be that as I do, so shall ye do. When I blow the horn, I and all that are with me, then blow ye the horns also on every side of all the camp, and say, For the Lord and for Gideon. So Gideon and the 100 men that were with him came into the outermost part of the camp in the beginning of the middle watch. And they blew the horn and broke in pieces the pitchers that were in their hands. And the 3 companies blew the horns and broke the pitchers and held the torches in their left hands and the horns in their right hands wherewith to blow. And they cried, The sword for the Lord and for Gideon. Stood every man in his place round about the camp, and all the host ran, and they shouted and fled.
There's Gideon! Long live Gideon! Hooray! Good Gideon! Gideon! Victory! He wasn't bad! Oh, Gideon, we took the midnight devil with you! Hooray for Gideon!
Look at these, Gideon. They're mine. All mine.
Here.
Where were you hiding?
Nowhere. I was with your men.
No. I never saw you. You're a liar. Besides, you left your picture behind.
I don't think I've lied to you. After all, you won.
I know I have. But it was due to my courage after you made me fight with only a handful of men. Why are you smiling?
I'm smiling because this, too, was foreseen.
What was foreseen?
That you'd lose your head. Don't you see? Now you think you're the one who defeated the Midianites. With pitches and torches.
Well, who did it then?
It was the fire. In their fright, they slaughtered each other. Surely you saw it happen.
Yes. But if I'd stayed behind like you...
Your cowardice was not foreseen.
All right, then. You who know everything, tell me. What do you foresee I'll do next?
You'll pursue the Midianites.
Not a chance. I may be a peasant, but I do know our men on foot can never catch up with camels in flight. Order, come here. Take some horses and rush to the mountain of Ephraim. Tell all the men of Israel to occupy the fords along the Jordan. They must attack and crush the Midianites when they try to cross the river. Come on, let's go.
I see you don't need me anymore. Very handsome. But it seems a little tight for you.
On the contrary, it fits me very well.
And Gideon did pursue the kings of Midian and their hosts with them. And there fell 120,000 men that drew the sword. And Gideon slew the Midianites and captured their kings Zebah and Zalmunna.
That'll teach a lesson to anyone else who's thinking of standing up to Gideon. Like the peoples of Succoth, Penuel, I'll tear their cursed flesh with thorns and briars. And now bring Zebah and Zalmunna here. Give me the sword. Come here, Jada. For you, my son, the honor of killing them.
I can't do it, Father.
I said kill them.
They're not rabbits.
Spare us the shame of being killed by a boy.
Kings must be killed by kings, Gideon.
Fine king you'd make, Gideon. A king who can't even kill his enemies and has to ask others to do it for him, even on the battlefield.
Gideon, Israel thanks you. You must reign over us, and after you, your son, and the son of your son, because you have freed us from Midian.
I am a peasant. A peasant.
I didn't free you. I didn't free you from the yoke of Midian. Jehovah freed you, using me and 300 other simple peasants. We couldn't have destroyed such a well-trained army without the help of God. No, my friends, I will not rule over you, nor will my son. Jehovah will rule over you.
Although Gideon renounced the throne, the people were anxious to reward him. They contributed to him a part of their shares of the spoils of war. Gideon built a votive ephod with these gifts and returned to his fields. He lived on for 40 years, and the country was at peace. But the Israelites' gratitude to their God was soon forgotten, and once again they turned to idolatry. And the Lord sent new judges to try to save them. And there was a certain man whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren. And as Manoah worked in the field, an angel of the Lord spoke. Your wife will conceive and bear a son. He will be a Nazarite, chosen of the Lord, and he will vow never to cut a hair of his head. It will be he who begins the deliverance of Israel from the hands of the Philistines. And the woman bore a son and called his name Samson. The Philistines came from across the Mediterranean and made themselves masters of the Hebrews. Cruel and ruthless warriors, they showed no mercy. When Samson grew to manhood, he became the champion of the Hebrews and the scourge of the Philistines. The Philistines captured and enslaved multitudes of Israelites, but the one they wanted above all others was Samson.
It's true. The Philistines fear you. The mention of your name terrifies them. But you can see that for yourself, Samson. Now you must make the decision.
If I agree to this exchange, do you think the Philistines will set the captives free and leave you in peace?
Put them with the other captives.
Okay, move. Move along. Come and free us.
Why haven't you kept the promise you made to my people?
Because some promises are made to be broken.
It was by your order that I have been brought here.
It is enough for me that they have done their job and done it well.
The news of Samson's latest exploit was carried far and wide. In due time, it was brought to the ruler of the Philistines, the Prince of Gaza.
1,000! 1,000 Philistines killed by one man.
And with what weapon?
The jawbone of an ass.
And this is the end of a campaign, planned for one purpose only: to destroy one man who has beaten us at every turn for almost 20 years. Farim, I still hear your reassuring words. I have a foolproof plan. We won't even have to make the effort to tie him down ourselves.
Don't blame me, because your soldiers let him escape.
Ah, yes. Nabur, you and your 1,000 men-at-arms. Much good they were.
We were not defeated by one man. That sudden wind, that storm of dust. Perhaps the God of Israel...
Lies! Words! Excuses! There has been wind and dust in the past, and we have won against greater odds and a larger army than ours. The wind! The God of Israel! I ask myself, what have I done that I have such fools who... See that the city gates are closed at once.
Wait a minute! Wait! Don't close it yet! Come on, you stupid thief! Move! Get going! Come on! Hurry up! Get inside! No, get inside! There's still some outside! Get out of the way! My keys! My keys! Close it, Sparrow! Come on! Move!
The secret whispered to the Prince of Gaza was that Samson was close by. It was no secret, however, that the mighty Samson had one weakness: his love for the Philistine woman, Delilah. It was this fatal attraction that drew him inside the gates.
Samson! Samson's up there! There he is! Grab him! It's Samson!
Delilah also had a wish. Love for jewels and finery.
Move on. What are you staring at?
Are those the gates Samson stole?
Move on. Get going. Move on.
Look at this.
And you? What do you want? Me? Nothing. Too little.
Would you like a jar of rare ointment? A red robe?
My necklace!
What do you want?
Thief!
Leave me alone!
My necklace!
No!
She's a thief!
Let me
She's
go!
a thief! Give me back
I didn't steal anything! Leave me alone!
My necklace!
No!
My
Leave me
necklace!
alone! I'm not a thief! Let me go! No! I knew as soon as I saw her that she was a thief.
Are you sure the god statue is strong enough to support the weight of the temple?
Well, it had better be. If the temple falls, so will my head.
They told me that you were very beautiful, and that you deserve a better fate. But perhaps you prefer the quiet life of the country. No, you are not that foolish. Surely you know what it would be like for a beautiful girl to live here. Fine clothes, jewels, every luxury. And you also know that these things are not come by for nothing. You see, Delilah, we know that Delilah is your name. All we want to know is, what is the secret of his strength? The man you are living with. The man called Samson. Don't be frightened. You love him? Very well. I promise you I won't have him killed. I could send my soldiers to do that. We have known for some time that he is hiding in your house. And so, just this little aid from you, and you can have anything you want.
Guess what I found? In a puddle. I was looking for a stone, and instead a merchant must have lost it.
I don't like it. It must be false. I've seen more beautiful ones.
Where?
Around the necks of women more fortunate than I am.
Delilah.
I've been thinking that you don't love me. Otherwise, you would try to make me happy. With your strength, you could have everything.
You don't know, Delilah. This strength of mine is a burden on me. A heavy load.
You could, waylay a caravan. Break the strongest lock.
Do I have to be a thief, too?
Oh, no, not a thief. But it is a pity that you don't use the strength in those great arms. It is in your arms, isn't it?
Certainly it's in my arms.
Yes, but it isn't just a question of muscles. There must be a secret about it. I would think...
Yes, there is a secret. I could never escape if I were bound with 7 wet strips of animal tendons. Like those. Then a child could do what he wanted with me. And so could you.
Hold still. And now, have you lost your strength?
Yes.
Samson. The Philistines.
Liar! No! Liar! Liar! You're a liar! You're a liar! Liar!
There is no secret. Samson is strong. That's all.
Samson is deceiving you, Delilah.
That's not true. He loves me.
Anyway, it's none of your business. But if you want him, you know where he is. Why don't you go and get him? Are you afraid of just one man?
A man who can kill 1,000 well-armed men and carry off the gates of Gaza cannot be conquered by force. We don't want to go on, sacrificing our lives for nothing. You promised to find out the secret of his strength.
I've tried 3 times. He just makes fun of me. And besides, I don't want to.
You know what is happening to me? I'm becoming fond of this house and of you. I've realized that perhaps... What's the matter with you?
It isn't true. I know that you're not happy here. You're thinking of your people. And sooner or later, you'll get bored with me and leave. So what do you expect? That I should laugh and joke and be happy?
Delilah. Once, a long time ago, I met a girl and fell in love. She was the daughter of a certain Tamnata. She betrayed me on the very day of our wedding. From that day, Delilah, I've never trusted a woman. But you, Delilah, you are different. You want to help me. You're faithful to me. Why are you crying? Oh, I didn't mean to hurt you. I only wanted to tell you that I trust you. Listen, I'm going to give you the proof. You've asked me many times to give you a proof, a real proof of my love. All right. I'm going to give you that proof now. I'm going to tell you the secret of my strength.
No, Samson. No.
You're afraid that I'm going to lie to you again. I made up those stories because I wasn't sure that I could trust you. But now I know that you could never betray me.
No.
Delilah.
Don't say any more.
My hair. All my strength is in my hair.
Your hair.
It's true, Delilah. I'm a Nazarite, one chosen by God. I made a vow never to cut a hair of my head. If I broke my vow, all my strength would leave me.
Someone to see you. Forsaken by his God, Samson is deserted and forgotten by his people. Only one remains faithful, his mother.
No, you mustn't cry. Try to talk to me. Tell me, is the sun shining outside? Or is it raining? I can see you. Do you know that? If you tell me that it's raining outside, and the frost has covered the fields, and I can see you wrinkling your forehead, as you used to do. And if you tell me the sky is blue, and the sun is warm, and my father is well, then I can see you smile, and I'll be happy too. Oh. Feel it has grown again. Like it was before. But my strength hasn't come back. My eyes don't matter. Day by day, I felt it growing. I kept touching it at night, and now it is as it was before. My strength hasn't come back. It hasn't come back. I know. I was wrong. God chose me for our people's leader, and I betrayed him. Tomorrow, they'll take me to the temple of Dagon. The princes of the 5 cities are coming to see me in chains. I shall pray to God to make me the instrument of his divine will again. You must pray too.
Your father sent this.
the judge of Israel, the leader of the Jews, the one who burned our crops, who destroyed our fields, killed our soldiers. The enemy of our people is now under our foot, under the foot of Dagon. His great strength is gone, destroyed forever by a woman. Delilah!
My lord, I would like to go now.
Am I to believe that you regret what you have done? You will stay.
My God. My God. My God.
Here I am, Samson! I'm here! Samson! I'm here! Here I am, Samson! Here!
Oh, Lord. Hear me. Oh, Lord.
Show us your strength, Judge of Israel!
My Lord, forgive me. Make me once more the instrument of your divine justice. And let me die.
You will conceive and bear a son. He will be a Nazarite, chosen of the Lord, and he will vow never to cut a hair of his head. It will be he who begins the deliverance of Israel from the hands of the Philistines.